From The Guardian, I could bench press 100 kilograms, which I believe is about 220 pounds. Now I can't walk. Lucy's life with long COVID. So this woman, Lucy, was so strong and athletic, and she could bench press 220 pounds or 100 kilograms, but now she can't because of long Rona. Before the pandemic, Lucy Cayley ran a gym, worked as a personal trainer, and went on grueling, exhilarating runs, but after 3.5 years of illness, she isn't sure she will ever recover. So she's been sick for 3.5 years, and I'd be willing to bet she could never bench press 100 kilograms or 220 pounds, but they want you to believe that the only reason she's no longer able to do that is because of long Rona. But my name's Eric. This channel is called Report and Opine. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm absolutely begging you.
I'm begging you, please. Come on, please.
It would help me a lot, and it would cost you nothing. But if you wanted to help me even more and spend some money, you would buy my book, New York City 2020, Gotham Unglued, on Amazon.com. That link will be in the description. They say, I was incredibly strong and fit. I was good. But Rona is just so devastating that now I have long Rona. I've had it for 3 years, and I just can't do anything. She's incredibly strong and fit, and she looks it. In the photo she is showing me, taken a few years ago, she's with her best friend, Rona. They have just completed a 15-mile race on the North York Moors. It was a brutal race, she says, but it was great. I was happy. Today, although it's quite dark in the room, she doesn't get on well with bright light. I can see a tear rolling down her cheek. I don't know if I'm ever going to get back there. Lucy, 49, still runs across the moors and along the coast, but only in her sleep. What? So she was so strong and healthy, but Rona took it out of her, and now she only does those things in her dreams, which is proof that she, like nearly the entirety of the left, operate in a completely false reality. She's literally telling you, well, I do this in my dreams, which makes me believe she was never really able to do this before, but who knows? I'm so light on my feet. I was never a light-footed runner in real life, but in my dreams, I am so light I can run so far, and it feels joyous. Yes, you've created a completely false reality, and you want us to buy into the idea that you were so brave and strong and stunning you could do it all, but now in your dreams, you're even better than that. Okay, in reality, just walking up the stairs at her home in Stockton-on-Tees County, Durham, has taken it out of her, given her a sheen of sweat and stolen her breath. Her breathing is always audible and sounds shallow. Sometimes out of nowhere, she breaks into a fit of coughing. Yes, that's her. See, I guess that's her. She has that's her. Lucy. She has the shaved head. Predictable. When that photo was taken, Lucy ran a gym. It was her business, her baby. She worked as a personal trainer and ran fitness classes there. The gym was called Evolve NCA. NCA. I knew you'd ask. It's rude, she says. There was a not rude alternative she would tell people when necessary. New challenges ahead. But go on, what did it stand for? No, okay. Of course. So this standard hypochondriac leftist wants you to know that they can't do what they used to do because of Rona, but they can do it in their dreams, which is a completely alternate reality, and she has a completely foul mouth for people who I guess were being mean in the gym. She tells me about some of the people who got banned. Lucy has lost a lot. Her breath, her health, her business, her livelihood, nearly all her money, her passions, her life as it used to be. At one point, she lost the will to live. Okay, this is a classic leftist. They live in their dreams. They can't do what they used to because of Rona, and they are suicidal. Okay, but somehow she has managed to hang on to humor. When her gym had to close in 2020 because of Rona, no, of course, it didn't have to close because of Rona. It closed because of the overbearing politicians, but whatever. Lucy took up volunteering, shopping, delivering prescriptions, calling people. She got the virus at the end of that year and was quite poorly with typical symptoms. Okay? Cough, shortness of breath, fatigue, but not as bad as some. She went back to work when the gym could open again, but found that she couldn't exercise. Even training others was unbelievably hard. So yeah, you got brainwashed, bro. You want it, like I've said for years now that Rona, it was scary at the beginning. I never bought into it, but whatever, do what you want. But this is quite clearly a a mind virus, right? Like that's what it is. What's the old saying? Whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. Now, obviously, you got to take that with a grain of salt. I wish I could slam dunk. I wish I was 7 feet tall. I even tried to identify as such twice, but the Warriors wouldn't take me. That aside, then at the beginning of 2021, during the third lockdown in England, her health tanked. So it didn't work. I mean, this is an incredibly long article, but at the very beginning, they're saying all of the basic, like the classic leftist talking points, and then saying there was 3 lockdowns, but she still got the virus, meaning it did not work. Breathing was challenging. I couldn't cope with stairs, washing myself. She couldn't even bathe, cooking, tying her own shoelaces. I kept trying to push through, but that just made things worse. I'd gone from being a lifelong insomniac to sleeping 15 plus hours a night. Sometimes the sleep was so deep, I'd wet the bed. I was so ashamed. Wait a minute. This lady went from being a health nut, a gym freak, to not being able to do anything, and long COVID made her sleep 15 hours a night so deeply that she would wet the bed, and this is all because of Rona? Lucy's GP, I guess that's general practitioner, diagnosed her with long COVID and referred her to a specialist clinic. But the help she got was limited. Every medic I saw did their best, but it was also new because it's not real, and they can't pinpoint something that you've completely made up. Every medic I saw did their best, but it was also new. Nobody knew anything. I got introduced to graded exercise therapy to try to improve my fitness, but that just set off a massive crash. The most a long COVID sufferer can do is manage symptoms and pray things get better. Even if things do improve, one activity too many in a day can be debilitating and set you back. It's like a game of snakes and ladders with one rung ladders and a whole bunch of snakes. Wow. By the summer of 2022, her mood hit a low point. I couldn't see a future that would bring me any satisfaction, she said. Suicide ideation plagued me. I tried to walk to the shop and have to stop to breathe. I can't carry back. Okay, this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. In September, The Guardian published a reader call out asking for long COVID story. So yeah, okay. This is absolutely nuts. The Guardian describes a leftist to a T, all the way up through, the weirdo suicidality, death cult persuasion that they have, and they were reaching out for more fake stories from long COVID sufferers. And long COVID sufferers are obviously just people that will, quote unquote, vote blue no matter who, and just do whatever the hell the media or the regime tells them to do, and they can quite clearly never snap out of it. Because as we know now, well, of course we know that criminal politicians will breed criminal residents, but on top of that, in this particular case, it is far more difficult to convince somebody that they have been tricked than to trick somebody. So you can throw on the nonstop television Fauci propaganda about how you're going to die if you don't wear 2 masks and goggles. But when somebody says, yeah, I think they were kind of lying about that, they're like, no, I have Rona forever, even though they likely don't. And look, this article goes on for ages to convince you that long COVID is very scary. Now, what's strange about this is, remember when people were skeptical or did their own research surrounding Rona?
4 little words that are hurting America's pandemic response. What are they? Here, let Sean Hannity tell you. He loves these words.
Do your own research. Please do your own research. Do your own research. Do your own research. There's a ton of it right on, at the tip of your fingers on your own phone.
Right, and that's the problem. Do your own research. Everybody has a supercomputer in their hand that empowers them to do their own research, which is great, right? Isn't it?
Can we all stop saying, I need to do my own research? Nobody who's saying that is getting in a lab and doing tests. At best, you're reading other people's research. And more likely, you're probably reading a tweet about a headline, about a blog post, about someone else's research.
See, Sean Hannity could learn a thing or two from Trevor Noah. That phrase, do your own research, it's popping up a lot in conversations about coronavirus and about COVID vaccines. Nicki Minaj used similar wording in that tweet this week, saying she was doing research. But this go it alone approach, doing your own research, it seems so innocent, but it can have serious consequences.
That was completely condemned. But now they want you to just believe that long COVID is a totally real and terrible thing that you probably won't be able to avoid. And if you do avoid it, you should just go get tested again because there's probably something wrong with you. And for the record, this is The Guardian, the same exact publication. Well, there's several publications who have put out this story, but they ran an article about how exercising could turn you into a right-wing bigot. So are they going to say that this lady was a right-winger before Rona, and now she has the long COVID, and it's taken the right wing all out of her? What the hell is going on here?